Hi everyone. Today is Friday, May 12th, 2023. I'm Crystal Dawn Hill, and I'm here to share some information that I discovered through my experience. Last night I was praying and I realized that it was very difficult for me to pray for my divine masculine. And of course, I want the very best for him. I want him to be happy. I want him to be safe and protected and abundant and all of that. But to actually pray for it, I've always had a lot of difficulty. So last night I was like, why is this? And I meditated on it, and I realized when I pray for him, it feels like I'm praying for myself. And I know there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not the kind of person who typically asks for things for myself. So this brought to mind something that I became aware of very early in my journey with him, and that is that it's kind of like the Corsican twins, where they would hit themselves and it would hurt the other twin. So it's kind of like how twin flames work, like the energy between us. So when I got up this morning, I wasn't really thinking about that. And I was going through my Facebook memories and I saw a picture of myself right after I had emerged from going through a lot of trauma, and I was finally like settled down and felt like I had a new start. And I was writing some commentary when I was sharing this memory, and while I was writing the commentary, I had this huge epiphany. And when I discovered what I was shown, I felt frustrated and annoyed at my divine masculine, but also kind of amused and impressed at how clever he is. So it took me right back to that memory when I was thinking about how what we do for ourselves affects our twin, and what we do for them affects us. And it's very hard to distinguish your energies by that point because you feel so much the same. So when I emerged from the trauma, part of what had happened to me was I had broken my elbow. I had fallen because of my visual impairment and broken my elbow. And when I was thinking about that, it took me back to in the beginning when my divine masculine and I met, and he was able to pick up on my broken elbow and other physical ailments that I had. He didn't know specifically that I had broken my elbow, but he was able to pick up on, I don't remember if he said my arm or my wrist or something like that, but it was right along the lines with what had happened. And all of this knowledge came flooding in on me. And I was like, that little... because I realized that what he had done was discovered who I was to him and took advantage of our connection by actually discovering things about himself by, or I should even say, under the guise of helping me. And it helped explain a whole lot, but it also added to the mystery that I was already experiencing with him that I hadn't yet unraveled. So all day long, I've been kind of fuming and what's that word that I'm looking for? it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, ruminating. I've been ruminating over this all day and trying to work through it, but at the same time, just kind of relishing in the knowing that I finally was able to see him in a truer light. Not that I had him completely up on a pedestal, but it was very difficult for me to see through this one part of him. And it helped me to understand something else too. And this is actually the reason I wanted to do this video. Because once I was able to see this side of him, it allowed me to understand what's going on with him energetically. And what I feel intuitively, I don't have any way to find this out for sure, but what I feel intuitively is that he's going through a similar experience with his catalyst that I went through with my catalyst prior to meeting my Divine Masculine. And what that was is that my catalyst and I flipped each other into our opposite wounded energy. So I, being the Divine Feminine, was flipped into my wounded masculine energy, and I exhibited